WWE are in a big position right now. You know, they're in a very terrifying position. Now, I never did any videos about this yesterday because I honestly really didn't care too much about it. But it's a big enough story. And the story is about Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia, about some journalist getting murdered. And the Saudi Arabian government has, from what the reports have been saying, he could be involved. He could be involved. And considering the mainstream attention is getting a hold of this, Donald Trump is now involved in all this, and so is Vince's wife, Linda McMahon. And even the talent themselves are scared, they're worried. And I don't blame each and every one of them. WWE has begun to realize, or at least I hope they do, that everything that JD and King Schmidt and I guess even me and among other people have said it about WWE, all they care about is money. All they care about is money. And we get the proof. We get the proof tonight that all they care, well, yesterday, with all this news, that it seems like they only care about money. That Saudi Arabia is a very dangerous country. It's a country that murders people. They don't give out women's rights. They don't let the women wrestle. They don't let women be free and do what they want. That's what Saudi Arabia is. It's a bad country. It's the way they live. It's the way they operate. Excuse me. Just wanted to turn that on. It's getting hot in here. And Saudi Arabia is, it's not ready for WWE. Oscar likes to say nobody is ready for Oscar, but Saudi Arabia is definitely not ready for WWE. And WWE have also brought Shawn Michaels out of retirement for the sake of them, for the sake of the Saudi Arabian government, because the Prince of Saudi Arabia asked for them to bring Shawn Michaels. So WWE has it's not only WWE, Shawn Michaels kept his word that he would stay retired. For 8 years, he kept his promise that he would stay retired if he lost to The Undertaker. And WWE hands Shawn Michaels all this money just to get him out of retirement for Saudi Arabia, for Crown Jewel. WWE has to realize it's not all about money. And this, and everything that people have said about this company, it seems to be coming true. And everything that people have said about WWE, that they're nothing more than money-hungry pigs, it's really becoming the true faces of that. A United States journalist gets assaulted by, gets killed in, I don't know if it's in Saudi Arabia, but apparently he got murdered because he didn't like how Saudi Arabia operated. Well, I wouldn't want to be in Saudi Arabia. And if I was a WWE talent, and from what I can understand, so many talents in WWE are scared. They're scared. They don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. They don't want to go to Crown Jewel. They don't want to do Crown Jewel. In my opinion, if I was Vince, and if I could hear my talent saying that they don't want to go to Crown Jewel after what happened, they don't want to go to Saudi Arabia, they don't want to do Crown Jewel after everything that they were told that just happened, I wouldn't want to go. I definitely wouldn't want to go. Why would I want to go? It's very bizarre. We haven't seen Sasha Banks in a long time either. We haven't got any reason why she's gone. Some people have said she's pregnant. Some people said she's had a nagging injury. But I think a lot of people are starting to make claims that she said something about the Saudi Arabian government, and she said something about Saudi Arabia, that she's not happy that they're going back there again. And the fact that they can't wrestle there. That's a part of Saudi Arabia's law. No women are allowed to wrestle. And then all Sasha Banks wants to do is go out there and wrestle each and every week. Put her body on the line. And that's the thing when it comes to WWE. They don't care about the product. All this money that they are earning is getting to their heads. Money is crawling their heads. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, they don't want to do it all for the money. They don't do everything for money. As far as I know, Triple H, what he's doing in NXT, and with Stephanie McMahon being there and possibly helping, that they know what's best for business. They know what's the point of the future. They know the future, what holds for the company. The fact is that Vince McMahon is all about the money and all about the part-timers and all about all about the past. Vince McMahon needs to get out of WWE. And more importantly, they need to get out of this agreement with Saudi Arabia. This 10-year deal, you should think twice before you do something. And I can't believe Vince McMahon, as a old man that he is, who's obsessed with money. You know, if you're gonna make a deal with someone, you gotta think twice about it. You don't just look at how much money these people will pay you and be like, oh yeah, I'll definitely go to that country. They'll pay me a lot of money, and I know for a fact I can trust them. Saudi Arabia can't be trusted. Saudi Arabia has, when I first heard of Saudi Arabia, and then when my parents told me what the country is like, that they don't give women's rights and they're a brutal country, I was like, well, this whole thing with WWE going there is not going to work out. They've signed a 10-year deal, a decade deal with Saudi Arabia. They need to get out of this deal. They need to get out of this contract. They need to get away. That's what they need to do. They need to get out. of this deal. It's making WWE look bad. It's going to give them a bad, bad name. If they continue to do Crown Jewel, if they stay and continue to do Saudi Arabia, they continue to do Saudi Arabian stuff, people will lose trust in WWE. All the mainstream people, all the mainstream attention that they have got, all of that will go away. They will leave. They will banish WWE. Fox Sports, you know, their new contract with Fox Sports for next year, I believe. Like, they might even turn down their offer. They might turn down their contract because of WWE being selfish and wanting to get money or blood money from Saudi Arabia. They're going to these other countries because the USA, the people living in the USA are not watching WWE anymore. They think going to another country is going to give them, you know, a lot of more fans. You got fans all over the world, yes. But Saudi Arabia doesn't give a damn about you. Saudi Arabia doesn't give a damn about Vince McMahon. All they care about is themselves. They are using WWE to try and make the governments forget about Saudi Arabia, because they are a real bad country. They're terrorists. They're terrorists. They're bad, bad people. They think working with WWE, it's going to make the people all around the world forget about their country. But it's not working out, isn't it? Everyone is telling WWE to cancel Crown Jewel. Get rid of it. I'm disappointed in WWE. I am. I've been a long-time supporter of this company since 2004. And I never expected WWE to go as far as this. Go to a country that's full of terrorists, that don't allow women to wrestle. What's the point of this whole women's evolution then? What's the point of this women's evolution? Women's rights. You're letting the women be just as equal as the guys. And considering Saudi Arabia does not allow women to compete, they're not going to change their mind just for you, Vince. They're not going to allow women just to wrestle just because you want them to. It's part of their culture. It's the way they live. They don't allow women to wrestle. They don't give women's rights. That is the only reason why you have this Evolution pay-per-view existing. Just to get them out of the picture so they can do their own thing. And then you can focus on Crown Jewel. Forget about Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel should not even be a pay-per-view on the calendar at all, period. You're just doing this event to please the Saudi government. Do they care about wrestling? I don't think so. Because when I was watching the Greatest Royal Rumble, they really didn't react to any of the superstars. Besides maybe Randy Orton and John Cena and Triple H. And then they were the ones that wanted Yokozuna and Ultimate Warrior. Without even knowing full well that they passed away. I don't believe this company. Money is getting to their heads. Money is getting to their heads and it's bad. And it's not good for their company. It's making them look bad. They should really be changing their name to WWM, World Wrestling Money. Because that's what they all seem to care about, World Wrestling Money. All they care about is money. They're killing all the characters on TV. They don't care about any of the talents. They're making these shows worse because of money. They're not investing their time in these characters. It proves that the people only care about themselves. I only wish Triple H and Stephanie, and even Shane McMahon too, if he's even still there. I don't even know what the heck's happened to Shane. We haven't seen him since he announced Paige as the general manager. I don't know what he's doing. All I hope is that Shane, Stephanie, and Triple H pull Vince aside and tell him to wake up. It's not all about money. They need to get out of this little contract that they've negotiated with the Saudi Arabian government. Triple H is all about the future of the company. He's all about the future of the company. NXT. Can you imagine how he would look? How he feels right now? That he may not be able to continue his empire to make NXT great. Considering that Vince McMahon is in bed with these people in Saudi Arabia. Giving them all this blood money. All this money that they are earning. Sure, all this money may help Triple H, go pick up a Kenny Omega. Sure, that money might be able to help him pick up a Kenny Omega, but what in the world would Kenny Omega be worth to WWE? He'd just be like another guy on the talent. He'll just be another talent on the roster. He has specifically said he would only go to WWE unless he is the top guy. He will only go there if he is the top guy. That's the only reason why Kenny Omega would go to WWE. He's not going to be lazy and complacent like everybody else. He's not going to be in the back burner like everybody else. He's not going to be a mid-carder for life type of guy. He wants to be the #1 guy in professional wrestling. That is the only way Kenny Omega will go to WWE. And the way WWE is now, Kenny Omega will never be the top guy. And he may never go to WWE the way WWE operates. Same thing with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. WWE may want them, but they will never go to WWE, considering that all Vince will do is take advantage of all of these people, because that's what Vince McMahon does. He takes advantage of these people. All he cares about is Roman. He'll put Roman ahead of anyone. Vince McMahon is not even listening to the audience. That's why there are so many people leaving. That's why there are so many people in this country, USA, in the USA, leaving. Not watching WWE anymore. Because all he cares about is Roman and money. Roman and money. That's all Vince cares about. Saudi Arabia is a danger to WWE. It's going to make them look like hypocrites. It's going to make them look like hypocrites. You are giving money to terrorists. You're giving money to terrorists. Majority of the talented superstars in WWE have also stated that they don't want to work at Crown Jewel. Now, if I was Vince McMahon, that is more than enough reason to cancel Crown Jewel. Vince McMahon, he cannot force his employees to go to Saudi Arabia and wrestle at Crown Jewel. Vince McMahon cannot be selfish if his wrestlers, his employers, if his employees do not want to work there, if they don't want to go there, if they do not want to catch a flight and go there, then don't go there. Call it off. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish and be like, no, you guys are going. We agreed to a 10-year contract with Saudi Arabia. You guys are going to compete there and we're going to get the money. $45 billion apparently. Or 45,000, whatever the amount of money they're paying for Saudi Arabia. I just don't get it, guys. I just don't get it at all. It's mind-boggling to me that I'm sitting here very distressed and sad that WWE have gone to these lengths. Vince McMahon obviously deserves this. He obviously does. Considering what's happening to him, considering what's been happening to WWE, he definitely deserves this. I'm not denying it. This is what happens when you don't listen to the fans. You're giving Shawn Michaels all this money for what? To go to Saudi Arabia? Just to please the Saudi Arabian people? What about us? What about us? You just recently came to Melbourne last Saturday. You pleased us. Go to countries that you can trust. Saudi Arabia is nothing but a terrorist country. The only way, if they want to keep Crown Jewel, if they want to keep the pay-per-view going, then that's fine. You can take it out of Saudi Arabia. They want to find a new home for Crown Jewel, fine. Fine. You can keep the pay-per-view, but get it out of Saudi Arabia. Move it to the United States. Move it to the United States. The best place to keep that pay-per-view relevant, at least special, take it to the Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden is the USA's version of Melbourne's MCG. If you guys want me to be honest with you, that's how I see it. Madison Square Garden is like Melbourne's version of the MCG. You guys saw how huge the MCG is. The MCG is huge. And Madison Square Garden is also huge. The thing is, guys, I don't understand why WWE hasn't been going there anymore. Back in the day, when I watched WWE back in the day, it's normally like nearly every pay-per-view. Like, normally every big pay-per-view, maybe it's like a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or maybe even a Raw. Like, back in the day, Madison Square Garden was one of the most recommended places back in the day. Back when I watched it in my early days, Madison Square Garden was like nearly popped up every single time when they'd say, "We're here live." I don't know, why hasn't WWE been going there anymore? I don't understand that. I'm disappointed in WWE. I'm very disappointed in them. But they deserve this. They do deserve this. Absolutely. WWE really needs to do the right decision here. WWE needs to do the right decision. Cancel Crown Jewel. Get out of this deal with the Saudi Arabian government. And never go back again. Never go back. Because they don't give women's rights. You're all about pushing the women's evolution. You go to countries that will accept women. You go to countries that accept women. And also, Vince doesn't need to go to other countries to make money. He can easily make money with the talent that he has in his possession. People like a Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Other guys that are being underutilized. Rusev. All these other names that they have. They probably have the greatest roster of all time. With the amount of talent that they have. Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bobby Roode, the AOP, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Eric Young of Sanity. He's a great talent. Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. You got so many big names in your company. You can easily make a lot of money by getting off on these people. Make the money yourself. Get people to come and watch you. Don't draw people away. And quit pushing Roman. That's one of the other big things you need to end. You need to end the Roman agenda. Cancel the Roman agenda. Take the title off of Roman. Break the Shield up. There's so much you need to do to fix this company. Getting the title off Roman is one. Breaking the Shield up is two. And pushing who the fans want is the third and final thing that you need to do, and it's the most important. You push who the fans want. You don't push who you want. And you don't push someone just because they can't speak English. AKA Nakamura, Asuka, Andrade Cien Almas, which gladly he has Zelina Vega there to talk on his behalf. And even the Iconics. I really hope our Australian accent isn't causing WWE to not push them. They're great talents. Both of them. Becky Lynch. Everybody realized that she wasn't being pushed because of her accent. But you didn't have a problem pushing Sheamus. Back in the day. Back in 2009, you had no problem putting the title on Sheamus within 6 months. And yet he's Irish. And you had no problem pushing him. But you got a big problem with pushing Becky Lynch and Finn Balor. What does that tell you? Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I don't want to continue this video anymore. You guys get my point where I'm coming from with all this, with this rant. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy the video. Comment your opinions down below. What are your thoughts of everything I mentioned in the video, and also about Saudi Arabia, WWE. They should get out of this situation with Saudi Arabia. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't not done so yet as well, because you will be here. Because if you do subscribe, you will get more videos regarding to WWE, and also a future WWE 2K19 review will be coming sometime next week. Well, I guess I should say this week, because Sunday's an all new week. So, and be sure to check out my previous videos if you have not done so as well, if you want to tune into the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. And one final thing before I go. Be sure to follow me on my Twitter at pvalentine95 as well. So that way you can keep up to date with me on Twitter. I don't tweet a lot, but when I do, be sure to look out for it. I'll see you all later.